this is a conundrum wrapped in an
enigma. Dripping in mystery sauce.
I cannot figure this out.
Yes, here's what we know. Alex Rodriguez was the victim in a burglary in San Francisco. A car was broken into. Alex was there on Sunday in San Fran with ESPN covering a game, the Giants or a Giants game. And that vehicle, you see police looking for fingerprints there, was broken into. And they made off with items that belong to A-Rod. We know that.
So the question is, what items and how much? And that story has changed wildly. Wildly.
A lot of different versions of this.
Yeah.
So, Babcock, which version are you going to start with?
Well, let's start with the first version, which was that Alex Rodriguez had $500,000 worth of stuff taken from that vehicle, including jewelry, laptops, cameras, electronic equipment. $500,000.
That was the report that came out.
That's what the cops said.
That's what the police said.
Yes.
Now come in Alex Rodriguez's people, who said that the amount was greatly exaggerated and nowhere near $500,000 worth of stuff taken.
Well, and not just that, Babcock, but no jewelry was taken from him. No computers were taken. It was all closed.
Right. So, some work stuff, some things of sentimental value were taken, but no expensive jewelry like we were all imagining when you hear it's $500,000
Right.
worth.
You think that some of J-Lo's gifts for J-Lo got stolen or something?
Or maybe A-Rod had some chains we didn't know about, man. I never seen him rocking the chains.
Right. A-Rod's not a flashy guy.
But that's kind of what I thought. I thought that might be changed.
Maybe A-Rod had some bling, man. You know what I'm saying?
But
so
they say that's not the case.
$500,000 to no big deal.
No big deal. And
it wasn't even his car, they said.
And I pressed A-Rod's people. I said, give me a rough dollar amount. I said, we don't know how much, but we know it is nowhere near $500,000. That it was primarily clothing.
How you get half a
mil? They made it sound like
how you get half a mil from like 50, or even if it's like 10 or 5, like half a mil is a lot.
So here's what they did say, that the car was not Alex's, that he was there with ESPN. The car was rented by ESPN and was driven by an ESPN staffer, not by Alex, just to get him to the game and get him and to leave the game afterward. They say that not his car. Now, ESPN agrees with that.
But then why did the police say 500? And they told us that. They told the San Francisco Chronicle that.
I know.
And then all of a sudden they're saying, well, no. But it's like,
what we can't figure out is where the $500,000 number came from.
You wonder how a mistake that big, it's like Vince said, it's not close. This is a huge amount. They say, jewelry and stuff. Now, A-Rod's people say no jewelry. It doesn't make any sense. It's so puzzling. What happened here? It doesn't make any sense.
This is Frankie from Dobbs, right? The question I have is, if A-Rod originally, if they came up with that number, 500,000 that he had in that car, and now it's changed, what was actually in that car? What is he hiding? It's weird with A-Rod.
And I don't know that A-Rod is doing it. I just know I want to find out who called the police to make the report. Because how did the police dream up a $500,000 figure?
Somebody told them that number. Because the police wouldn't have seen anything. It's all gone.
It was too specific. I think they said iPads and jewelry. Where did they get that from? Somebody said something and took it back. That's the way it seems to me.
Yeah.